Art students, Brian Proctor back with another instructional video, and this one was the hard one for me. This has always been a hard position for me to do. So I kind of figured it out and showed you guys, so let's get going and see if you can keep up. All right, let's roll. All right, so this particular position, you've already seen what it looks like, or the final drawing. At this point in filming, I haven't even seen it yet because I filmed the drawing, and at the end I used the final picture for the beginning. So I have no idea how this even comes out. So you've already seen it, so you've got one leg up on me. So this particular picture, this position has always been hard for me to draw because it's one of those weird perspective shots, foreshortening shots. That's what I was trying to say. So let me try to explain it before I do it. So this cylinder, and I said I'm going to use this in a lot of videos, and I am. This cylinder, if this is straight and you turn it a little bit, and it's hard to do it in this camera because I have to kind of almost move it the opposite direction so you guys can see it. When you turn it, you're turning it at an angle, obviously, and I'm trying to figure out how to say that. But this is going to be the same thing with this, doing this position. The more you turn it, the more of a shift it's going to take, obviously. So the more lines you're going to have to change, if you understand what I'm saying. You've already seen the final picture, so hopefully you understand what I'm saying. Now the hard part is getting it to come out right, and that, as I say, it depends on how you really turn that cylinder. You can turn it just slightly, or you can turn it even more. So imagine this is the body right here. You're going straight, and we're not doing a straight shot. We're doing more of a side shot, which I haven't really seen yet. Trying to get it to this point right here, this much turn. But with that much turn, as I say, everything shifts. Everything shifts. Like with that, it's just a whole different. It's just a whole different view on it. So instead of me rambling, let's see what I can come up with. Now I drew this thing today because I was adding it to my next book, this position to my next book, and it didn't come out. And I drew it and I drew it and I drew it, and I finally got it to come out where it's kind of right. So yeah, so I kept drawing it, and that's the key to getting any drawing right, or to make yourself a better drawer, is to draw and draw and draw. If you have a position that's hard for you to do, draw it at least 3 times back to back. So I think I got it. So I said, let me show you guys how to do this one, because I always like this kind of flying position, because this was Space Ghost used to kind of fly like this in the opening scenes of his show. So yeah, I never could draw that position, or that kind of, what's the word, that kind of foreshortened position. So okay, first of all, you have the torso, and second of all, I have to put my glasses on. That's a little better. You have your torso, which is an oval. Now your line, where you put that center line, that determines the whole 9 yards. So you have to get one solid circle first, because you gotta have you have to know where that center line is. Forgive me for slurring and breaking my words up, because it is approximately 4:05 in the morning. I woke up, I couldn't sleep, took a hot bath, couldn't go back to sleep, so I said, let me draw something. So this is your key point right here, because everything else follows that. Now, it depends on how much you lay this oval down. That determines a lot as well, because your arms are going to be here. So it depends on how much you lay this down. You don't want it to be up like this, and then the feet are here. I mean, you can, but that's not what I'm going for. I'm trying to do more of a flying, almost like he's diving. So then from there, let's say your collarbone. Now, of course, now if you notice, this is not going straight across. It's up and down at an angle, and that's kind of a reason I wanted it up and down at an angle. So here you have your, let's just say, we'll do this curve. This curve and this curve should somewhat match right there, okay? This is going to be a little crooked. Now, of course, at this point and this point, you're going to have that mountain. Now, it's going to stop at this edge here. Now, from there, you have your chest, and it curves up here. This is the other part of your chest, and it curves up right there at that little circle. It might go off a little bit, depending on how big your character's chest is. The hardest part is this curve, and we'll get to that curve in a minute. So, you know that your collar, your deltoid muscle, your arm muscle, is going to be right at the center of this. Because your shoulders are, when you're leaning forward, this is the center line, your shoulders are like this, and it curves in, and it goes to the back of the neck. Here's your neck. It's going to curve in like this, and your delts are in the center of that. And that's only when you are leaning down. If you're standing straight up, your collarbone goes like this, and your delts are in the bottom of that line. When you lean forward, your delts are going to be in the center. Or yeah, that collarbone is going to be right there in the center of your delts. So let's do this real quick. I had to stop my camera for a second because it blurs. Now, you have your two delts. You have one arm that's going to come out. Just draw a straight line for now and leave a circle because you have that cylinder. This other one, you want to do the same thing. Now, well, let's do this right quick now. You can drop the arms down, you can have the arms up, but I'm going to bring the arms straight out. Like that. Now, the thing is, you have this collarbone going this way. You want your arms to go that way as well because they're going to fall, your hands are going to fall on that same line. The hard part is not making these too long because, as I said before, depending on how much you turn that cylinder, it's going to shorten. The cylinder, the more you turn it, the more shorter that cylinder is going to become. So it's the same thing with arms. So if this was an arm here and this was your fist here, your fist should be here. This cylinder is going back in perspective. I'm not going to worry about that right now because we're going to probably end up changing it, or maybe foreshortening this a little bit more, but we want to get to the hard part. So you have this, you have that ball that goes through. And it's way up inside because the way you shifted the body. Now from here, at the very back, the buttocks comes. The buttocks comes? You draw the butt. So right up under here, at this curve, you're going to curve around. It's not going to have a fat stomach. This is going to be a ball. So you're going to kind of curve around here. And then like that. Now remember, you don't, at this point, the legs look like it's going to go way back, straight back, but it's not because it's got to be foreshortened. So that's what I'm saying. This is kind of like the hardest point. This is the hardest thing. So from here, you want to bring this down like so. Now, I should have had it over a little bit more, but I didn't. So we're going to stay with this. So remember the center line, this is going to be the center of the crotch right here. So the crotch is going to come up. Come up, and you're going to have that curve where that leg is going to fit into. That's the hard part now because I have a little bit over here. We're going to see just a little bit there. As long as my camera, and I see what my camera's doing. I didn't put it on autofocus. That's why it's jumping up and down. So let me put it on autofocus real quick because I don't like that jumping up and down. And every time I put it on autofocus or autofocus lock, it blurs after a minute. So from here, you want to do your legs, and your legs are going back, not sideways, so they're going back. So you're going to have to figure out how long it's going to be, knowing that it's going back. And then you have your other part, which is going back more. Let me check this. Do a quick line on this. Now, because I had this, and let me pencil it, maybe it's a little easier for you guys to see. Well, let's do this. You got the chest. This part, you're going to come up. This is going to be your delt. From that arm, chest is going to come down. It's going to be that little your bone from your thing, skeletal torso thing, which is one piece that doesn't move. So these are going to be your abs under here. So you have this, and the skin comes down there. There's your center line. There's your line here for that. It's going to come down there as well. So you're going to see just a little bit of the crotch lump. And as I say, it depends on how you turn this thing. This would probably be more up, like so. Now, I had this. Now, because of the angle, I'm showing just a little of the other leg right here. This part is just going to be a little of the other leg. You don't have to, but I'm putting it there. So let's go back here and check this length. Now you're going to do the other part of the leg, and you're going to bring that up. Since that is a curve, since that is your cylinder circle that goes around like this, your other part of your leg is connected straight to that cylinder circle. As in, here's this. And then you have your other part connected there. But since that is turned like that, the other part of your cylinder that connects is going to connect on the inside of that and then start. So let's just say this one was red and this one was black. This is the part that's connecting to the red right here. So you're going to start your other part of your leg into that other leg to make it more of a perspective, to foreshorten it, sorry. So your calf is going to start in here, come out, and then go back here. This part, you have your knee, and let's say I'll bring my knee up just a little bit, and then this is going to be curved up, and maybe not even go back that far. Maybe it's something like about right there. And your knee, and then this leg here. This leg comes back where you won't see it. So let's just throw this foot up in here somewhere. This foot is going to be here. And what I like to do is find a center line, center of that foot. Same way when you do a leg, find the center of the leg and put a line there so you won't get thrown off. Now, you won't see this leg coming back, but you will see that foot. So put that foot probably right about the curve, the calf. Yeah. If you have to, draw through. Now let's lift that foot up a little bit more. Lift that heel up a little bit more, or drop that calf, one of the two, because it should be on that same line. It should be on that line. Now, one foot can come down, one foot can go up. It doesn't have to be like this line and that line and your shoulders and arms. One could be higher, one could be lower, but we're just going to keep them on that line. So, no, I think I'm going to just keep it that way. And then just erase that. That way you'll see that foot. this is going to come back into that leg. Same way here, and then the knee. As I say, this is to me, this is the hardest part, because you know this comes all the way back down here, but you won't see it because that stomach is going to the stomach is going to protrude out. Those muscles are going to protrude out, and then this bring here. Now let's do the arms. One arm anyway. You have this. You have the delt, and from that position, the delt is going to be shaped like this, because your tricep is going to come from this point here, and that's kind of a oval which tucks in, and this is on top of it. So you have your elbow, which is here, and then the other part of the arm, the forearm. So I'm going to say maybe about right here, because this is foreshortened. And you might see some bicep here. And see, this is the hard part, the foreshortened part. So if I put the fist, or the hand, which is going to be a fist there, then that also determines where that other fist has got to be, or should be. So in that case, this one should be a little bit longer, and that fist should be right about there. Sitting back looking at it, looks pretty good. So you're going to see this come up. You already saw that. We already did this part. So this is the bicep right here. And this is the other part of the forearm here. I want to probably stop it right about here. And that's a determining thing. You have to determine where by looking at it. So looking at it on the monitor, let's bring this back, say about right here.
Forearm, bring it up some more. Did you see some tricep there? Well, let's do this first. And then the fist would go here.
Now there's a thing in comics where, and I don't know what it's called, but you should always avoid one line overlapping another line like that, because it's called something, and I don't know what it's called. And that's the same thing as if you have somebody sitting, here's his leg, here's his foot, he's sitting at the table, and then you have the table line, the table leg is right here against his foot like that. The same two lines occupying the same space. And they say that you should never do that in comics. I don't know why, but you shouldn't do it, because it throws stuff off. Either bring that leg in front of the table leg in front of his leg, or bring it behind his leg, but you should never share that same line, that same space with that same line. You should never share that same space. So maybe either I'll shrink the hand to where it's above this, or move the arm, or just leave it and just let you guys, you already know, not to do that. So darken that. And your triceps from the center is going to be that kind of like that U shape there, because it all connects with the elbow. And the elbow is the shape there, and then it's shape there, a line there, shape there, shape there. Now your lats, where your chest comes in here, your lats are going to come out the same place. So bring this, it's your back, and the back muscles, which is your, and you know, I don't know why I'm trying to name these muscles at 4 o'clock in the morning. just follow along. And this goes down into your waist. And then you have your love handle. These two connect into the love handle. And then you have your abs here. Well, let's do this. Let's go straight up. This line is going to curve straight up. Let's get rid of this because this is throwing me off. And then your head is going to go. This is your neck. This is your neck in here, which you're probably not going to see much of it. So your head is going to go right about here. With your front face, with your front line, center line facing that way. Your chin and so forth is going to go down. This is the back of your cranium. And you may see some of your neck. You may not, depending on the angle that you took when you drew this. And then, of course, all this disappears. So far, so good. You have, I'm going to bring this in some, though. Because I put my chest bend right here, so that was going to come in and then in like that. So your first set of abs, and a lot of times you don't have to do abs. Let's just say this is my center line. If I brought this in and curve it out and just do maybe like that, that's basically all the abs you really need. But for those who want to do abs, you just kind of take it all the way. 2, 4, these two is your 6. This is part of your 6, or you could just add another one, or you could do the middle ab up here, or the bone structure that looks like you have an extra ab, depending on how you choose to do your abs, like so. Remember that center line goes there. These abs are going to, they're going to obstruct. You're not going to see the side. You're not going to see any side. And that's kind of hard for me to show you guys. If you have, let me do this. And this is your center line. Your abs are going to be here, your waist. So you have this one set, second set, this is your third set. So here's, you're going to do your 6-pack. This other side, you're going to see this rib because it comes out. So this, you'll see this. You're going to see this ab, and you're going to see that ab. But you won't see that line that comes down on the side of it because of the amount of the twist that's in it. You'll see as this first one, you come after this rib comes down, you'll see that ab. You see that one. You see that one, and down past that, then you'll see some of that waist, which is this, which goes into the crotch, and then there's your leg. But when you turn, you won't see this. This will protrude out, and you won't see that side. Like you won't see any of this over here until you get down here. Hopefully that made sense. Hopefully that made sense. So I'm shocked this came out the first go around, probably because I drew it and I drew it and I drew it and I drew it. So to get it right for my drawing, bring that chest up a little bit more, bring that down like that, over. And as I said, the lats come right down into your back. And then from here, you have your, those ribs, which I really don't like drawing because people don't get it right, and sometimes I don't get it right. And then you can have your second set of ribs that come down like that, which people don't get it right, and sometimes I don't get it right. So I'm looking at this in a monitor, kind of liking it, kind of. Let's just, you might not see that other leg then, because this is going to, here's my knee, it goes in, it comes out. So no, you're not going to see that other leg. Not from this angle anyway. Yeah, you might see right here. I mean, just being picky, you might see it because this is your center crotch right here. So you're going to see some leg on the other side, but it's just so little that you really won't. But just being picky, and that's just me being picky, I'm going to leave that little piece there. Nobody will know but me and you. So, liking it so far. Basically, the job is done. Now it's just a matter of doing the fist. So, to do the fist, since this is the outside of the hand, you're going to, first of all, you're going to do the palm. The palm comes up like that, and then your first finger, which split the finger 1, 2, 3, so you have your 4, and this one's going to come in and back like that, and each finger is going to move out just a little bit. It's a problem with drawing with pencils, and this one's going to come out. That's the problem with drawing with pencils. It's just so dark, and it's kind of hard to do a bunch of squiggly lines, and you mess up sometimes. You have the thumb coming in, and the palm, the second palm. Second part of the palm. So this one is coming from the inside. So we're going to have, first of all, this is going to angle. It's going to angle down. This might be a little long, this hand. Let's draw it, let's draw it, let's draw it first. You have this, you're going to have your thumb, your piece for your thumb, which is going to come in. You're going to have that finger here. The other finger, which is higher. And these two come in like that. So this is going to come back up and in and down. It's like you're doing that Y shape. Oh, I just lost it. There it is. There's the thumb. Like so. And then this is the highest one, so this should go, and this should be over top of that. Or that knuckle, should I say. I'm turning this thing all over like I'm inking. Pretty much like that. And I'll fix this in the inking. And this may just come above that line, or I could shift it down a little bit or shift that up a little bit so they won't share the same space. But as long as these two fists, and this fist needs to, I need to see more fingers. As long as these two fists kind of ride on that same line, you're pretty good. Like that. Since you see the front of that fist, you're going to see the front of this fist as well. And I don't want to screw it up too much with pencil. So you have your tricep, your bicep, and it splits his arm here, which goes down to that thumb, that line. But I only take it so far. Clear some of these lines. When I ink it, it'll look better. Take the shoulder out from in that arm. And a couple leg muscles, which I think it's going to come up like this. You have that one. I don't do too many leg muscles because whenever you shift your leg, you lose something. So the buttocks comes down in here. And I believe there's like a muscle like in here. Goes into the calf. Some of the calf muscle. And take away the shorts, because he's not wearing shorts. Let's see, bring this in a little bit. That, maybe bring this down. In that case, if I brought that down, you might see some of the other buttocks, but not going to say. But pretty much, this is what you have when I'll ink it, and I'll correct something in a wash if need be. But I think I took it slow enough for you guys to see it and be able to understand it, to do this kind of a drawing. As I said, I did it earlier this morning. Yesterday, it's a new day, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. And I just caught hell with it. I just tried to do it because I wanted to put it in my book. And I just caught hell doing it and just kept going and kept going and kept going, and got it to where I liked it. So I said, since I did it so much, let me try to show everybody how I did it so they can try to do it. Take this off because that's kind of like just a little wrong. Because you have that line here that goes up. I'll fix this in the wash and show you what I did. So yeah, that is going to be it for this one. I'm staring at it and seeing what I missed, but I think that's got it. So 24 minutes into it, minus a few minutes of editing. That should be it, plus the few minutes it's going to take for after I ink it and say goodbye. So that's going to be it for it. Let me ink this thing and I'll be right back. All right, so this is the final inked product 3 days later. Yeah, it took me 3 days of staring at this while I was doing some other things. So there were a couple things I changed because it just was some little thing missing. And one thing I did was I dropped the arm down so you can see the shoulder. I think I twisted the hand over a little bit more, and I definitely shortened the arm. So those were like the 3 major things. And I think I took some of the stomach in more. And you'll see, I'll show you the before and after pictures right now. And then fix those, tweaked it a little bit more, and this is your final product. Yeah, that to me that has always been a hard one, but the more you do it, the easier it becomes. So if I went and drew it again right now, it'd be a little easier. So, and that's why I say to people, if you find something that's hard to do, get a good picture of it and just draw it like 3 times over and over again, just right off the bat, just draw 3 times. So after the 3rd time, you should pretty much have it. So that's a way that you can improve your skills in a hurry. So on that note, I've got another one I'm working on. I'll get to that and I will see you guys on the next video.